Today we're going to take a brief look at the role played by the bass guitar in the band. I must warn you that to do this I'm going to have to tell you about something called farting dog syndrome, but I'll save that to the end of the lesson. The importance, function and purpose of the bass guitar in a rock band is pretty much the same as the importance, function and purpose of foundations in a building. You don't necessarily notice that they exist most of the time, but if you take them away, the whole building collapses in a heap of rubble. The bass player in a conventional rock band acts as a vital link between the drummer and the rest of the band. They lock in with the bass drum sound of the drums to the sort of warmer sound of the harmonic and melodic content of the music. The bass acts like the concrete in the foundations of a building. It holds all the other parts of the structure together. Sadly for bass players, this is most noticeable when the bass is missing. So the primary function of the bass, I think most musicians would agree, is to reinforce the rhythm of the band. If your bass player doesn't have a great sense of rhythm, then it doesn't matter if the rest of the band are made up of superstars. The music you make won't sound good. The second vital function of the bass player is to define each chord played by the rest of the band. This one takes a bit of explaining. It's an interesting phenomenon that the human ear, the human brain, defines the tonality of the sound. That means whether it's heard as predominantly major or minor. It defines this tonality relative to the lowest note heard in any given collection of sounds. You can hear this most clearly with some chord synonyms. Chord synonyms are chords that are named differently to each other but actually contain the same notes. For example, let's say the rhythm guitar is playing an A minor seventh. That's a chord made up of the notes A, C, E and G. And at the same time, the keyboards are playing a riff based on a C major sixth chord. That's a chord made up of the notes C, E, G and A, the same four notes just in a different order. Then what the bass player decides to play will define that chord as either an A minor seventh. If they play an A, or C major sixth if they play a C. So can you hear how that makes the tonality minor or major? As these two chords have completely different tonality, completely opposite tonality, this makes a crucial difference. So the bass player has total power in this respect. One particularly fascinating aspect of this phenomenon is that the human ear seems to always act on the assumption that the bass player is right. And this is what gives rise to what I call farting dog syndrome. Everyone is playing the right chords, and the bass player suddenly starts hitting the wrong notes. And indeed the other band members will get the impression that what everyone is playing is sounding wrong at that moment. Typically in that situation you all look at each other with your eyebrows raised, and everyone looks puzzled as they check their own fingerings. Meanwhile the bass player adopts a look of exaggerated innocence as he asks, "Did the dog just fart?" If you enjoyed this little lesson, please click on the like button if there is one, or leave a comment. And do feel free to share the video with your friends. And if you'd like to gain full access to all our guitar teaching materials, please visit the Secret Guitar Teacher site and take a free look round at what's available there. See you again soon.